Hey everyone, KIC here, playing a little Shadow Raid, and I'm going to go ahead and warn you right up front, in case you didn't know, I do the voice on this stuff after I've played. This particular run through, I'm not going to hit everything, I'm just not. So if you were hoping to see a Death Wish run that includes getting every package, every artifact, grabbing the armor, etc., sorry, go ahead and just look at another video because this isn't it. For anyone else who's sticking around, I'm going to go ahead and tell you why this doesn't include everything, and that's because this is realistically my first playthrough of the mission. Yes, I've actually hopped in the map before and kind of poked around just to get an idea of what's around, so truly it isn't like it's the first time I've played it, but it's really the first time I'm trying to get through it. So you're going to have to just suffer right along with me here and try and be patient as I figure out how all of this works. Okay, obviously I bought the thermal paste asset. The reason you want that is so you can get through the sewers, and it really gives you an easy in and out from the warehouse. In this particular case, got lucky, and there's usually a guard right by the gate there. No guard. So I'm going to start by poking around in all of these shipping containers. There's going to be stuff in some of them, there's not going to be stuff in others, like this one that was empty. Basically, any of them that have murky water on them, those are the ones that potentially contain some sort of valuable. In this case, it looks like a money bag. And since I also bought all of the... that's a little close there. Since I also bought the other assets, one of them included an additional loot drop point, and by looking at the map, there's a little briefcase right there that indicates the loot drop is right on the other side of this wall. Now, having poked around before, I know there's really not much over there, so I'm not 100% sure what the deal is, but that guard over there is kind of in a bad spot. Let him move for a second here. I'm not sure if I should be climbing up there or if maybe I should just toss it over the wall, but I want to let that guy move before I kind of investigate a little bit more. Alright, I definitely can't jump over there, and that looks like the same kind of truck that you see on some of the other maps, and I'm just going to toss it and run because that was getting a little too close. And actually that looked like that did the trick. So I think the previous time I played through there was a trash can right about there, and I'm presuming you could open that trash can and throw stuff in it. Okay, just kind of going through here. Like I said, this is effectively my first time really trying to play this mission, so forgive me if I'm a little methodical as I'm going through it. And for anyone who hasn't seen my videos before, I'm not quite the type that's running around and taking a lot of risks. I like to play it a little safer, stick with crouching primarily, not running. That's really bad. And it looks like the guard didn't notice because, alright, he already turned around. Just thinking that could have been really bad. So just throw that guy over there and back to looting these shipping containers. I'm not sure how many total items there are on the outside area here, kind of this parking lot slash freight parking lot, but you can get, I'd say, somewhere around 4 or 5. And you do get some like this that are on the second level, which means you got to do a little platforming and run and jump around. Okay, there's nothing of value in here, but there is a crowbar. Sometimes you'll find them in these shipping containers. The crowbar is going to come in handy later on when you go inside the warehouse, and there's going to be various crates that need to be opened with crowbar, kind of along the lines of Election Day if you've played that one. And look at that, there's actually 2 bags in here, so that's kind of cool. Go ahead and fill both of those up, and then dump them over the wall. Okay, that's one. Go ahead and run back and grab the other. So far, this is pretty easy. And granted, stealth is kind of stealth. Ah, that was a little close. That's what I get for not crouching, and that's what I get for saying that I play it fairly safely and don't walk around or run around too much. That's why. As I was saying, though, this has been a pretty clean start. Stealth is pretty much stealth. It doesn't matter too much if you're doing Death Wish, if you're doing normal. I mean, granted, there are some things that will change a little bit. Cameras, number of guards, that sort of thing. But the basics are all the same, and all things considered, this is a pretty easy start so far. Not too bad, not hard to avoid anyone, aside from just a couple of close calls from being kind of stupid. You minimize that sort of stuff, and really it's not altogether too difficult. Okay, I already opened that one up, so I don't really need to open the second side of it. I really want to go over to the other side.
Talk Walker inbound. Ground personnel get ready for drop.
Okay, if you heard that, that's why I just stopped talking. There's going to be a helicopter coming in.
Guys, what's that noise?
Yeah, thanks, Bane. There's going to be a helicopter coming in that is delivering something. Could be an artifact, it could be troops. It's going to take a few seconds here, so I'm just going to check this crate. Looks like it's empty. Okay, you can hear the chopper coming in now. Looks like it's hovering over there. I don't think it's actually on top of the building. It looks like it's to the side, and it just dropped a crate down there, which I'll have to check that out and see if there's anything of value in there. Okay, but so far got 4 items out of the kind of this outer area here, the courtyard. And like I said, I need to make my way over to the other side and just kind of check out the rest of what's going on out here. And as I said earlier, this really isn't a complete run, so I'm not going for every single loot bag possible. I'm really just going to go in, I'm going to grab 12, I'm going to get out. So, sorry if you wanted to see more. I'll have to play this one a few more times and kind of get used to its intricacies and see if I can get a little better at it. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to get the armor running it solo, but it's certainly worth a shot. Okay, now this is kind of where I started, but there's still some other ones over here that I haven't looked at yet. And in case you haven't noticed too, obviously with the spotter asset, the spotter's highlighting the guards, but there's also civilians in here, and that can be a little tricky because the civilians don't get outlined, so you do have to pay attention to that. Okay, just kind of still taking my time here, working around. Okay, this is the actual entrance right here. This is where I came in.
Hey.
And like I said, there's usually a guard right near the door. That's one there. I don't know if that's the same one that tends to stand kind of in between the gate here. He's on the move. See where he goes. Sometimes he'll be off to one side or the other, kind of like he was, which can make it difficult if you need to get on that side. Okay, now there's going to be a manhole over here and a door into the warehouse. And then, obviously, there's another crate right there. Go ahead and check this guy out. I say crate, it's a big shipping crate, but you know what I mean. Okay, nothing in this one. I think I got all of them in the courtyard out here, so I want to go ahead and get inside and check out the warehouse because that's where the majority of the bags are going to be. Some of them are going to be in crates, some of them will be things lying around in rooms, and it's really just kind of a toss-up what you're going to find. And I've respec'd so many times, I didn't go through my skills here, but just kind of to give you an idea, I'm a heavy ghost spec right now, and obviously I don't have lockpicking aced or even any points into it, and I kind of miss it, to be frank. I know a lot of people don't like lockpicking, but if you're playing solo, it's pretty handy, and especially in maps where you have civilians. The civilian can come in here, but it looks like he's going the other way. Just as I was saying about lockpicking, I do find that useful, so I might end up putting some points back into that. I'm kind of working on Infamy, getting to Infamy 3 right now, so we'll see what happens. This is one of the other quirks with this map, that it kind of looks like if you have a guy standing in place like that, one of the murky water guards, the actual guard with the flashlight on them and the heavy armor, if they're standing in place, they continue to stand in place. If they're roaming, they continue to roam. Kind of like these guards out here are all roaming. Well, the murky guys, they don't seem to follow those rules. I don't know if that's intentional or if that's a bug, but that's just the way it stands right now. That could change. Obviously, it could change in the future, but it kind of makes things interesting when you have a guy right there and you want to get by. I'm not sure if I can get by in time, so I'm actually going to go ahead and run back outside here and go another way in. There's quite a few entrances on this map. You have a lot of options. I obviously went right into the courtyard. There's a guard there. If we go kind of the direction this guard is coming from, it turns and goes along, I don't know if it's, basically goes along the water, and you can get in the building that way. And earlier on the, kind of at this point, the upper right-hand side of the courtyard, there's also an entrance that way. Never mind, we've also talked about the sewers, and I'm going to go ahead and head down this hallway here. If you look on the left, there's a ladder there. That'll get you on the roof, which gets you some other entrance options. So really, this is a pretty cool map. The design is really interesting. There's a lot of possibilities, a lot of ways to get around. That is pretty neat. I'm just going to jump over the side here. I don't really care too much about taking that damage. I've obviously spec'd out of, I think that's Cat Burglar. That reduces fall damage. So, okay, I obviously can't highlight this guard through the stairs, but he's heading back up. And he does not see me through the staircase, so I'll just go ahead and sneak by here and get by this camera. As I was saying, just the design on the map is really interesting. It's pretty big. It's quite a bit of fun to run around. I like that they made a map or a heist that's entirely stealth. I haven't really talked about that much or even explained how that works. If you're not familiar with it... Oh, hello, look at that. There's a guard right around the corner. That was pretty close. This is a stealth-only heist. If you screw up, you get a minute to do whatever it takes to finish things up and get to the extraction point. If for some reason you don't get to the extraction point and have the necessary number of loot items collected, you're done. You don't get a plan B. There's no going loud. There's no, picking up the pieces. You're done. You got to start from scratch. So that's also part of why I'm only doing 12 here. Because
come on.
There's a guy right there. That's not good. Well, just to wrap that thought up, basically, you have to stealth this map. You don't have a choice. So there's no reason to take anything other than a suit and the ECM. Really, at worst, you're looking at 50 some odd seconds of combat. There's no need to have ammo or med pack. You certainly don't need sentries. I haven't seen a use for C4 outside of opening up doors, and since C4 is loud, take ECMs. Okay, this guy's not moving. Remember what I said earlier about the guards not moving or moving? It looks like he's just standing there, and this is really annoying because to get in to the building, I need to get by him, and he's just in the way. They're also pretty tough, and I'm not sure if I really want to try and shoot him and take him out. There's another entrance over here, I think. Like I said, I only ran around this map a little bit, so I'm not 100% sure. Right behind me there, that's the loot bag zip line. If you have loot, you can throw it on the zip line, and that will actually let you... Ooh, there's a camera there. That'll actually let you collect loot that way, so you don't have to run it all the way back. Okay, apparently I can't seem to jump through here. This is kind of annoying. Okay, I'm on the ledge. And I apparently can't get through there. That's kind of a pain. There we go. Okay, so this really just gets you back into the courtyard, but there is an entrance over here. And like I said, I don't remember where all this goes. Okay, this actually is going to go back to the water, so this isn't really an entrance into the warehouse itself. And that guard is over here somewhere on the left. Okay, he's not looking. Oh, I'll take the package real quick, though.
Thanks.
Unlike most everyone else at this point, I imagine, I have not collected a ton of these and have parts falling out of my ears, so I'll go ahead and spend the time to take them. And I'm just kind of looking around to make sure I didn't miss anything. Like I said, I'm still pretty new to this map, so I don't want to get too crazy just yet. That stupid camera's in a bad spot. I don't really want to go all the way around just to get past this guy.
Hey.
Okay, just kind of walk around a little bit here, and maybe if I get a little further out, camera won't see me and he won't see me. Okay, so that obviously didn't work. I see a guy up there on the roof. You can get in that way, and there's a couple of doors you can get into the warehouse from. But there's a dude up there, and really, I just want to go this way. So, you know what? It's time to just take this guy out. Okay, I shot way more rounds than I needed, but I wanted to make sure this guy went down without shooting himself.
Getting older.
And by that, I mean him taking a shot, not shooting himself. That'd be pretty funny, though. Okay, so this is kill number 1. Since I've last played, they've instituted a limit on number of bags. And look at that, he dropped a key card. If I were going for the vault, I would need one of those key cards, plus I would need a second one. And it looks like that guard is near the trash can. My thought is to go check that trash can and see if I can store the body in there. I don't know if things have changed, but I know in the past I've run into the occasional trash can where you can store stuff. And considering we have civilians running around, guards running around, I don't want to just throw that bag in a corner and hope no one's going to find it. So I'm hoping that the trash cans are a little more interactable than they sometimes were, and that I'll be able to toss this body in there. Okay, just kind of making sure he doesn't see me. And yep, look at that. So, oh, that's interesting. It opens sideways, not top, like a big top opening door. So, let him get out of the way so he's not seeing. I'll throw this bag in there. Okay, I'm going to miss, and then I'm going to throw the bag in there. So no one should see the body. That's out of the way. I don't need to worry about that now. And let's go ahead and get in the warehouse and see what we're looking at. Okay, this is where the guard was. He was right there. Shot him down. Basically, kind of on the bottom floor at this point. And there's a camera around somewhere. I think it's behind me. And you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and go up. I think there was a package back there, but I don't feel like dealing with the camera right now. I want to kind of just get this going. Okay, there's a guard up there. He's not going to move in all likeliness. Remember what I said earlier, again, about guys just standing there versus not standing there. This is kind of a pain because he's going to notice me if I try to get by. And, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and head back the other way yet again. So I apologize for this running around back and forth. I did say this was going to be a slow, methodical playthrough. So just go ahead and run by. And my new plan is to go ahead and use the sewer. So I'm not going to go in through that one because I would have to use the thermal paste to get from that manhole to the one over here. But this one here is going to get right into the warehouse, which gets past where those guys are standing on the stairs, and I don't need to use any of the thermal paste to do that. I'm trying to save the thermal paste just in case I want to use it somewhere else. there's 2 of them. You can only carry 1 at a time, but I don't necessarily want to use it if I don't have to. Okay, think I got myself turned around, and maybe I do have to use one of them immediately. I was thinking I didn't. And maybe, I don't know, it might be that the gates spawn randomly, and the other time I played it there wasn't one over here, but there is now. Okay, so this is going into the warehouse, so I'm just going to go ahead and use the thermal paste now and open that up. And I just want to double check, because like I said, I get turned around a little bit, and this map is pretty new to me. And you do have to be careful when you're poking your head out here. You don't know who's walking by. Okay, so obviously the warehouse is on my right. The street is on the left. So I don't think I need to worry too much. I used it on the correct side. But just to be safe here, because I think I'm going to need it again later, I want to go ahead and grab the other thermal paste. And while I'm running by, I may as well grab another bag. Kind of hope not to have to use them, because I'm really trying to do this in a more stealthy manner than the shoot everyone or tie them up quote-unquote stealth. And I kind of think Overkill's trying to get away from that as well with the changes they've made for stealth, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be making some additional changes in the future. Okay, so let's go ahead and run back through the sewer and then go up the ladder over here. Kind of see that this continues on into some other areas that gets further into the warehouse or the outside areas. But this one's going to pop up right in the warehouse past the stairs that there was a guy just kind of standing on. And again, you got to be careful when you're popping your head out. Do it slowly, take your time. Don't go crazy. And then kind of pop out and start grabbing stuff. There's cocaine right there, and you can just drop it down in the sewer, and you don't need to worry about anyone seeing it from there. Okay, now there's quite a few different rooms in here, and I'm just kind of taking a look first to see what's around, who's around. That's going to be a weapon crate right there. We can go ahead and open that up and dump that into the sewer. So that's actually 6 bags right now. Remember the 4 collected earlier, and then 2 are down there right now. And there's one of the crates. Let's go ahead and open that. No one's around. That's what the crowbar's for. Nothing in there. Sometimes they have stuff, sometimes they don't. Okay, now to my right, that's actually the staircase, and that's the door I went through earlier. Remember, there's a guard. You can just see his flashlight there, and there was the camera that was right there too. Double bonus. Okay, this is just kind of a locker room here. Sometimes you have stuff in here, sometimes you don't. And not seeing a whole lot, but there is a bag of Coke over here. So let's go ahead and load that up and get that in the sewer. Again, being slow and methodical, just checking options here. Notice that other manhole right there does not open. You cannot interact with that one. Okay, that's the vault right there.
Entered almost simultaneously. You can bet there's something particularly tasty in there.
And like Bane says, you need 2 cards to open it. The fun part is you need to insert your cards within 10 seconds of each other. So pop 1 card in, you now have a timer, you have 10 seconds to pop another card in. If you don't, you're screwed. If you do, great, the vault opened. I'm going to go ahead and take a wild guess. I'm not going to assume, but I'm going to take a wild guess that guards will notice the vault being open, kind of like framing frame. They can notice when stuff is open. Don't know that for fact, but that might be the case. Okay, I kind of have just some offices over here, and looks like there's a bag of money there, so I'll go ahead and take that. Again, just kind of looking on where that guard and the camera are, those little rooms right there, you can use security cards to open those up, and there may or may not be something in there. You want to take a closer look to see if it's worth your time. But there's still so many free things running around right now that there's really no reason to go exploring that. Okay, so that's 7 items. We got another camera over here. Open this crate up. And some more Coke. So that's going to be 8 items now. Just kind of taking a look, make sure. I don't know if you can have more than 1 item in a crate. Haven't seen that. Oh, man, this is a bad day for throwing. It shows that I haven't played this game in a while, I think. But anyway, now we're up to 8, so watch out for that camera. Haven't really played much since they added those Titan cameras. So some of the stuff, some of the stealth mechanics, the changes to them are still new to me. So that's kind of a double whammy. when it comes to doing a new map. Man, a lot of coke so far. The good thing about coke is if something happens and I need to run, I can. But as I said before, keep saying again, I tend to play it pretty conservatively. You just never know. Okay, so that's up to 9. Again, I'm really only going to be playing to 12, so chances are you're not going to see the entire map. And I can tell you right now, there's a lot of stuff upstairs that I'm just not going to get to. I'll do it another time. Okay, got a Titan camera there. And I did take the camera looping, and it looks like now once you have pointed out the camera, you can't loop it, or I'm just in the wrong spot. I don't know how useful this camera looping really is. I think I could have run over to this, popped it open, ran back, let it reset, grab the gold, and run out without the camera seeing me. But again, I took a ghost-heavy build, and the camera looping is a new skill since I've last played, or last played a lot. So I just kind of wanted to test it out and see what it works like. I don't know at this point. I kind of think I'm leaning toward getting rid of that, and I could even take those points and put them into lockpicking like I was talking about earlier. Alright, so the gold was item number 10. There's still some crates around here, so definitely haven't finished up. At least I think gold was 10. I'm kind of losing count at this point. And hello, civilian, get out of the way. And hello, camera. And just got to be careful running around. You never know what you're going to stumble onto or who you're going to stumble into, as it sometimes is. Okay, there's another camera there. But I did see a package up here, I think. Oh, no, sorry, that was a crowbar. I thought there might have been a courier package, but no, just the end of a crowbar hanging off. I've probably run by a bunch of them, and you guys may have noticed them. I'm not really used to looking for those either. Again, that was kind of added after I took a break from the game, so some of the stuff is still really new to me, and I'm not used to doing these things yet. Alright, that one is empty. That's no good. Just kind of poke around and see if there's any more in here. Another camera. Civilian over there. Got a crate over here. It's going to take him a few seconds to walk by, so go ahead and take that cocaine. I think that's 11, but it might be 12. Like I said, I kind of lost count. Okay, I'm just kind of watching to see where that civilian went. Make sure I can get around him without any problem, because I do need to keep the cameras in mind too. Okay, I think this is actually 12. I think I grabbed one and missed counting it as I was busy yapping away incessantly. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this is 8. So you know what that means? High speed. Okay, this is where the game goes into bag throwing simulator, and you get into kind of the good old days of playing framing frame and throwing paintings and bags of gold and things around. I actually need to go back and play framing frame since they've changed the stealth mechanics and changed kind of how the guards and pagers and bag system and all that work. Pretty sure there are guards now such that you can't kill everyone and or dominate them so that you can run around in that map, especially on Death Wish. So that should make it a little more interesting, but at the same time, I do get kind of bored of throwing bags around, so, you know, the rest of this stuff has been pretty fun, stealthing, running around. Like I said, there's actually a whole other section of the warehouse I didn't go into. There's a whole upstairs area that has different things. There's a camera room, there's a computer server, all sorts of stuff. So really, there's a lot I didn't go through on this mission, but, hey, you know, not too bad. I did at least get through some of this stuff. Pretty sure the other time I played through, I managed to grab quite a few bags before I screwed up, so I didn't get all of the achievements there for getting the number of bags. So that's what happens when you're trying to learn a map. Anyway, this is pretty much Shadow Raid. Again, I kind of skipped through some stuff, but you get the gist of it. I'm going to take some time and see if I can't get the armor solo, but I don't think it's going to happen easily, and I'm not sure how much patience I have. So that's pretty much it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Check out some other videos, and I'll see if I can get some more Payday stuff up, and see you later.